This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand for the morning of December 2nd, 2022. I'm Wes Mills. New research from the University of Notre Dame shows that the sourcing strategy of electronic medical records chosen by hospitals impacts the quality of patient care. EMRs are used by healthcare providers and can be shared across healthcare offices. Health systems can choose to use a single software provider or multiple technologies. Notre Dame Associate Professor of Business Analytics Caitlin Wowick says when hospitals move closer to single sourcing strategy, patients receive better evidence-based care.
When you have different components from different suppliers, even small things like how key medical concepts or data fields are defined can differ, which impacts the exchange of data between these two components.
Wowick says during the research, the team discovered things like allergies can be defined differently between components from different suppliers, which impacts quality care provided to the patient. Warsaw-based Wishbone Medical announced the appointment of Dr. Mark Figge as interim chief executive officer. The pediatric orthopedic medical device maker says Figge is succeeding company co-founder and CEO Nick Dieter, who is stepping down and moving into a consulting role. Wishbone president Mary Wetzel is also stepping down and moving into a similar consulting role. The Northeast Indiana Regional Development Authority this week announced $15 million in state-ready grants for 5 projects. The funding will support projects such as an arts campus in downtown Fort Wayne, housing projects in Allen and DeKalb counties, and an education and innovation center in Steuben County. Northeast Indiana was one of 5 regions to receive the full $50 million allocation from the $500 million initiative last December. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
IBJ Media delivers business news covering central Indiana and the entire state. The Indianapolis Business Journal and Inside Indiana Business are now part of the same family. Look to the IBJ for in-depth coverage of central Indiana's business community and tap into Inside Indiana Business for stories that extend throughout Indiana. 2 resources, unlimited business insights that help you stay informed and get ahead. Learn more at ibj.com and insideindianabusiness.com.
New Jersey-based Catalent is laying off about 400 workers at its facility in Bloomington. Indiana Public Media reports the move was announced to employees in an internal email and involves full-time and temporary positions. Catalent over the last 2 years has ramped up production of COVID-19 vaccines in addition to other products, though demand for the vaccines has declined. Batesville-based Hillenbrand has completed its acquisition of the Peerless Food Equipment division of Illinois Tool Works. The deal is valued at nearly $60 million. Peerless specializes in aftermarket equipment parts and services for food, plastics, recycling, and other end markets. Chief Executive Officer Kim Ryan says Peerless equipment and solutions are complementary to Hillenbrand's growing food end market business. Indiana University's 2 law schools say they are still deciding whether to join the list of law schools revolting against the annual rankings compiled by U.S. News and World Report. The deans from both the IU Maurer School of Law in Bloomington and the McKinney School of Law in Indianapolis say they are evaluating their options and watching what other law schools are doing. Law schools have long questioned the methodology that U.S. News uses to create the rankings, developed by data provided by the schools. The rankings flap has captured more attention since Yale Law School, number 1 in the rankings for more than a decade, announced in November it would no longer participate in the rankings process. Since then, 11 other schools have followed. Indianapolis-based Emmis Corporation is exiting the magazine business, selling Indianapolis Monthly to the Michigan-based company that purchased 4 Emmis magazine properties in 2017. Indianapolis Monthly was launched in 1977 as Indianapolis Home and Garden magazine. It was purchased Thursday by Our Media Group. Financial details were not disclosed. Earlier this year, Emmis sold 4 Indianapolis radio stations and statewide news service Network Indiana to suburban Washington, D.C.-based Urban One for $25 million. Sign up for the Business News subscription this week and get a 50% discount with our Cyber Week deal. Get unlimited digital and print access to IBJ and Inside Indiana Business, available through Friday for new subscribers only. Details at insideindianabusiness.com/cyber-week. I'm Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.